My neighbor waves at me every night. But he died 2 weeks ago. Part 1. 2 weeks ago, my neighbor Mr. Tanaka passed away. He was an old man who lived alone in the small house across the street from mine. Everyone in the neighborhood knew him. He used to water his plants every morning and sit on his porch every evening watching cars pass by. The ambulance came late one night. Lights flashing. Paramedics rushing in. But they came out 20 minutes later shaking their heads. The next day, the house was quiet. No lights. No movement. Just silence. His family came to clean the place a few days later, and after that, nobody returned. The house stayed dark every night. Until 3 days ago. I was in my room around 10:30 p.m., looking out the window while scrolling on my phone. And that's when I noticed something strange. The porch light across the street was on. And someone was sitting in the chair. I squinted. It looked exactly like Mr. Tanaka. And then, he slowly raised his hand. And waved at me. Part 2. At first, I thought my brain was playing tricks on me. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was a relative staying there temporarily. But the next night, the same thing happened again. 10:30 p.m. The porch light turned on. The old wooden chair creaked slightly as someone sat down. And then the figure looked toward my window. I froze when I saw the face clearly. Wrinkled skin. White hair. Same gray sweater. It looked exactly like Mr. Tanaka. The same man whose funeral I attended. My heart started pounding. Slowly, the figure raised its hand again. And waved, just like he used to do every evening when neighbors walked past his house. I immediately closed my curtains. My hands were shaking. Because I was absolutely certain of one thing. Mr. Tanaka was dead. Part 3. The next day I tried convincing myself it was nothing. Maybe someone who looked similar moved in. Maybe it was just my imagination. But that night, curiosity got the better of me. 10:29 p.m. I turned off my lights and quietly peeked through the curtain. 10:30 p.m. exactly. The porch light flicked on. And there he was again. Sitting in the chair. Waiting. This time I decided not to hide. Slowly. I raised my hand. And waved back. The figure froze. Then it smiled. The same calm smile Mr. Tanaka always had. But something about it felt wrong. Too slow. Too stiff, and then something even stranger happened. He pointed at my house. Directly at my front door. Part 4. My stomach dropped. Why was he pointing at my house? I stepped away from the window, trying to calm my racing thoughts. Maybe I should just ignore it. But then, knock. Knock. My heart stopped. Someone was knocking on my front door. Slowly, I walked down the stairs. The knocking continued. 3 slow knocks. I checked the door camera on my phone. The porch outside my house was empty. Nobody was there. But the knocking continued. I opened the door carefully. Nothing. Just the quiet street and cold night air. Confused, I looked across the street. The porch light was still on. Mr. Tanaka was still sitting there. And this time, he wasn't smiling anymore. Part 5. The next morning I decided to talk to another neighbor. Mrs. Alvarez had lived here longer than anyone. When I told her what I saw, her expression slowly changed. You saw him on the porch, she asked quietly. I nodded. Her face turned pale. That's impossible, she whispered. Then she told me something I didn't know. Mr. Tanaka didn't just die peacefully. 2 weeks before the ambulance came, someone had been breaking into houses in our neighborhood. Late at night. Quietly checking doors. The police never caught the person. And the night Mr. Tanaka died, he had called the police, because he said someone was trying to break into his house. Part 6. That night I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying everything. The waving. The pointing at my house. The knocking. 10:30 p.m. came again. Against my better judgment, I looked out the window. The porch light turned on. Mr. Tanaka sat in the chair. But this time, he wasn't looking at me. He was staring at something behind me. My blood ran cold. Slowly, I turned around. The back door of my house was slightly open. And I heard something move inside my kitchen. Part 7. My heart was pounding so loudly I could barely think. Someone was inside my house. Quiet footsteps moved across the kitchen floor. I grabbed my phone and slowly backed toward the stairs. Then I looked out the window one more time. Mr. Tanaka was standing now. Pointing urgently toward my back door. Almost like he was warning me. Within seconds, police sirens filled the street. Apparently another neighbor had seen someone climbing through my back window and called the police. They caught the man hiding in my kitchen. The same burglar who had been breaking into houses for weeks. Later that night, after everything was over, I looked across the street again. The porch light was off. The chair was empty. And I never saw Mr. Tanaka there again. But sometimes, when I walk past his house late at night, I still feel like someone is quietly watching the street. Making sure everyone gets home safely.